When Tomorrow Comes, an alternative blueprint for local public services. On taking office in May 2010, the new coalition government made clear that radical public service reform was a core part of their agenda for this Parliament. The scale of the proposed reform agenda challenged prevailing assumptions about public services, about who should influence them or have a right to them, as well as raising questions about how they should be delivered in the future. The University of Birmingham Policy Commission on the future of local public services took up this challenge, working in collaboration with senior academics, politicians and leaders from the public, private and charitable sectors to examine what local state, civic and private actors can, want and need to do to meet the demands of designing and delivering future local public services, while also supporting individual and collective efficacy, social justice and local democracy. Chaired by Deborah Cadman, OBE, now CEO of Suffolk County Council, the 11 commissioners met with and took evidence from over 100 expert policymakers, providers, advocates and service users, and also commissioned research to provide evidence that could support its deliberations. The Policy Commission was particularly concerned about the impact of public service reform on young people, as their views and voices are often overlooked, and yet they will be affected in the long term by changes that are happening now. So the Policy Commission invited the National Youth Reference Group to act as advisors to the work of the Commission, as well as undertaking surveys of young people's views about local services, about their involvement in decision making, and about the big society, to help shape future public policy. The Policy Commission's report, When Tomorrow Comes, calls for a radical rethink of public services to make them fit for the 21st century. It proposes a new system of local public support founded on an active state, but recognises that new kinds of resources and services are needed to meet individual and community aspirations. The Commission proposes that systems of local public support need to fit to local circumstances, but should be based on 10 core elements. First, democratically determined rights and entitlements to local public support involving the whole community. Second, local priority setting in a democratic framework that's anchored in the institution of local government. Third, outcome-based commissioning. Fourth, co-production in the design and delivery of support. Fifth, dedicated resources for citizens and community action. Sixth, preventative and responsive activity in parallel. Seventh, plural provision where this supports outcomes. 8, local public support budget. 9, real power to local politicians. And 10, systematic and shared learning. Generating these new sources of support means changing our expectations of citizens, of public servants, of government and public service providers. The Policy Commission made 4 key proposals here. First, it specifies that citizens should be identified as co-authors of their well-being. As co-authors, citizens need the capacity to pursue their own well-being with or through others. Working with asset-based models of intervention and support and using capabilities analysis, which explores what local people can do and are willing to do, may prove more effective at building capacity than conventional deficit models. Connections with others can increase the resources that citizens have at their disposal to contribute to their well-being. Understanding how individuals are connected to each other and to wider society opens up discussions about belonging, about fairness and about solidarity. Co-authorship implies that citizens' power and control over decisions is increased. Evidence from innovative services examined by the Policy Commission revealed that when service users had an active role in project creation and decision-making, projects were better able to identify and meet local needs. Citizens' capacity to act as co-authors will be influenced by the social, cultural and economic conditions of their localities. Discrimination, poverty and inequality will place significant limits on the scope of possibility for some individuals and communities. So systems of local public support need to act to combat this alongside national government. The second condition for an effective system of local public support is the development of what we call 21st century public servants. 21st century public servants may be professionals, managers or practitioners from across the public, private and third sectors who are working in a system of local public support. 21st century public servants fulfil a combination of roles, some of which are new, some evolving and some long-standing. The key new roles include the storyteller, who communicates stories of how new worlds of local public support might be envisaged in the absence of existing blueprints. The weaver, making creative use of existing resources to generate something new and useful for service users and citizens. The architect, constructing coherent systems of local public support from the myriad of public, private, third sector and other resources. And the navigator, guiding citizens and service users around the range of possibilities that might be available in a system of local public support. 21st century public servants need key skills, including interpersonal skills, specifically facilitation, empathy and political skills, synthesising skills, including sorting evidence from a range of sources, analysing, making judgments, offering critique and being creative, organising skills for group work, collaboration and peer review, and communication skills to make more and better use of new and multimedia resources, for example. Third, a connected and connective local government. Local government needs to be connected directly into local communities to develop a deeper understanding of their aspirations and concerns and to be better able to connect them to appropriate resources and support. This requires credible and legitimate local politicians. Local government needs to be connected to the views and experiences of those accessing local public support to develop a better assessment of how the system works and to hold service and support providers to account. Local government needs to be connected to a range of potential providers of local public support to improve its commissioning capacity and connect existing resources together more effectively. Local government also needs to develop a way of governing that engages individual citizens, communities and providers in building social solidarity. The Commission's survey of young people highlighted the importance of social media as a means of communicating. This presents local public service providers and local government institutions with an important but challenging opportunity to change the way they work and to use social media to inform, consult and co-produce. Fourth, a new relationship between central government and local communities. Localism should result in a much clearer framework of responsibility and accountability between the centre and localities. These divisions need to be clear to the public and open to revision should circumstances change. Where responsibility and accountability is located within localities, central government should respect that and not seek to intervene unless there are legal breaches or concerns about public safety. Moving from our existing system towards a system of local public support requires action across a range of areas. The recommendations contained in the report are designed to help localities make that move. In addition, the work of the Birmingham Public Services Academy is taking forward a number of elements of the Commission's work, particularly focusing on the development of 21st century public servants and the potential of social media.